And boom. All right, we are ready to go. All right, so I see you play mostly Caitlyn. You have a lot of mid games too, interestingly.
Yeah, I usually get bored when I play games, and I usually just flex around. And then, like,
Ah,
I was at work on Tuesday, and I was like, I want to climb again in League. And I was like, bot lane's my best row, so here I am.
interesting. You got a lot of. Seems like you have a lot of good games on AD
Yeah,
carry, but when it goes wrong, it's like, oh, it goes wrong. I guess. Interesting.
yeah.
Interesting.
I would say probably that's my biggest problem. I'm super inconsistent. Like, well, I would say like 70% of the time I play really well, but the other 30% of the time I'm like, why am I even playing this game?
Okay. Okay. Which of these do you think? Which of these do you think do you want to look at first? I guess.
Um, I would say the Caitlyn games. I feel pretty good about Ash since she's my most played champion. And
Oh,
Caitlyn,
really?
I just
Okay.
started. Yeah, if you look at my other seasons, mostly just like Ash and Jinx
I see, I
mostly.
see, I see, I see. Okay, okay. So you've been playing for a long time, huh?
Yeah,
God damn, you got like so many seasons up in here. Season 4. Holy
yeah,
crap, we're already on season 8. Wow,
yeah. We made it.
actually insane. Interesting. Already. I guess. Next question is, what do you think your strengths and weaknesses are besides, not being 100% consistent?
Uh, Definitely CSing. I am a terrible CSer, as you're gonna see many times throughout every single game I ever play. And matchups, I just don't know ball lane matchups, but I guess that's more of an experience thing I need to learn how to do properly. And I
Interesting.
would say normally team fighting is my best, and positioning is my best in actual team
Mm-hmm.
fights.
Okay, so we can definitely talk about laning. Have you seen any of my other coaching videos?
Yes,
Do they ever go over laning or anything
yes.
like that? So, what do I say about laning? What do you
It's
think?
mostly mechanics and stuff like that, right?
Wait, wait, wait.
And knowledge.
Mostly mechanics. Where do you get that idea from?
Just knowing how CS, because you always trust CSing and being safe slash not dying.
Hmm. Okay, so this is true. I will always stress the importance of prioritizing what you want, and this is actually looking really good in terms of that, right? You're like, oh, making sure that we're getting all this farm, right? Which is actually pretty good, right? These first few waves are really good. So far, I don't really see any problems with laning phase. Um, when it comes to whenever stuff happens in the laning phase, right? Whenever things go wrong, it's because of we're playing the matchup out wrong, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen any of those videos where I talk about matchups and stuff?
Uh, some of them, I wouldn't say all of them.
Okay, let's I'm gonna pretend that you haven't seen any of them. So,
Okay.
in terms of the bot lane matchups, right? I like to put champions into any and or all of these categories. So these following 4 categories is what I would classify, any of these champions, right? So one category would be all in, right?
Yeah.
Really easy to understand. You have like Alistar, Leona, anything that is point and click, you're committed, right? So the obvious ones are like Alistar, right? But something that's not so obvious is something like Kog'Maw Lulu, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they run you down. That's definitely considered all in, right? Point and click, and you're committed, right? Second one is trade, right? So trade implies that you want to trade because if you go even, you are winning, right? So what would be an example of trade in a support?
Uh, Janna, Caitlyn, Janna, Soraka, Lulu, I guess with their shield as well.
Right. All those are great examples of trade, right? Because when you trade, you're winning, right? Like this is a very good trade, right? Because you just heal up. I don't know what Soraka's doing. You got to run. Oh, I think he died. But you wanted to trade, so you're doing good there.
Yeah.
Wow, he actually got away. No way.
Oh, and
One
that's another
HP.
thing I'm very bad at I'm very bad like knowing when to use summer spells, I feel like. And just in general.
Oh my god, what is going on? You're killing them all. Oh my god. Okay, very good. We'll get to that later, but let's do this laning stuff first. So,
Alright.
this is all you need to know for laning for now, right? Is matchup. So, we did all in, we did trade, right? Another one is poke,
Mhm.
right? You've seen poke a lot. Well, poke used to be very prevalent, like the beginning of last season when you see Zyra and Xerath and all that other cancer stuff, right?
Yes.
But for now, what do you see in your games? What do you think is poke?
Poke would be what ADCs are what
Just
ADCs
supports.
are
Just supports.
Oh, just supports. Zyra is a big one. I feel like I've misfortune support whenever that happens, which is a lot where
Okay.
I'm at.
That does count, right? Poke is defined as, I like to define it as something where you can attack and they have no response.
Got it.
Right. So Zyra Q, you can't stop that. Right. There's no response. Right. The only thing you can do is dodge it. Right. Unless you're trying to turn it into some kind of all-in or trade. Right. And then the last category is catch. Right. So when I say catch, it's anything along the lines of skill shot CC. Right. So what's a skill shot CC?
Brahms ultimate / Q.
Okay. Yes. Braum is a very good example of catch. What else?
Would Leona fall under catch as well, even though she's all in?
Yes, agreed. That's a very interesting distinction because a lot of people miss that aspect too. Is her E is definitely catch, right? Skill shot CC, anything as skill shot CC. What's like the most what's it called? The most cancerous one for AD carries, I guess. If you get hit by it, you are very upset.
I don't know, because I want to say hooks, but hooks I feel like aren't. Wait, we're talking about catch. Yeah, hooks, you're right.
Yes, hooks. Because that shit is skill shot CC. You get hit by it, you are very upset, right? They're gonna turn that to an all-in that you're losing, right? So, so far, in this laning phase, do we see any matchup mistakes?
Disrespecting the Rakan.
Okay, hold on. Let's back it up real quick. So first, what categories does your lane fall into, like Soraka and Caitlyn?
Trade primarily with, I guess, secondary poke.
Agreed. Right, 100% correct. Right, you're just gonna trade, and then sure you can poke, but trading is like your breadwinner, right? Yeah. You do this thing, you're winning the lane. What about Rakan and Jhin?
I would say they're more catch. If they get a knock up, they can go into a snare and then all in from there, I guess.
Agreed. It's all catch, right? And then catch can lead into all in, I guess, right? So they're just trying to catch you 24/7, right? So in this lane, have you been caught yet?
No.
I agree. So did we trade?
Yes.
So you're winning, right? This is how we know that you're winning the game, or you're winning this lane. Is every time you trade / poke and they don't catch you, you're winning, right? So is this good or bad? What we just see here?
We traded 1-for-1, so good.
Extremely good, right? Their mid laner came down. He actually died, even though he got the kill. It's definitely worth, right? And then all of a sudden they're donezo, right? If he even has flash, he probably doesn't even need flash, but if he has flash, people are dying, right? Please tell me. Oh, that's really awkward, isn't it? Oh well. Whatever. You still did really good, right? So far, I think that laning phase is not a problem. If is this how laning phase usually goes? I guess.
It gets worse as the laning goes on.
Interesting. So maybe past 6, categories can change, right?
Yeah, because I really don't know how to deal with the Rakan engage.
Right. So what would does Rakan change any categories?
He goes just to all in because you just get comboed. And
right. Exactly. So that's when you know that trading is a less viable option, right? Because you're gonna get all in immediately, right? So the only thing that you can even remotely say you're doing wrong, well, not doing wrong, but something you could work on is not that you're playing the matchup out wrong, but we're missing CS even though we're completely winning the lane.
Yeah.
So how much CS do you think you should have at this point if we didn't die?
10 per minute, so about 8. If we didn't die, 90.
I would say 70 is more reasonable, right?
Okay.
In terms of like getting it every game, right? So if you do have problems CSing, what I used to do is I went into the practice tool and then I did 5-10 minutes right before the first game of the day, right? And the only thing I was working on is just less hitting, right? Until you can get a certain amount at a certain time, right? So when I was doing 10 minutes, it was 114 is the maximum you could get. So I tried to get at least 90, right? Or at least 100. If you're doing 5 minutes, then it's gonna be like what 50 something, right?
Yeah,
so
roughly.
Go for that, right? If you have problems CSing, which it might you might want to look at. But honestly, we're this is silver rank, right?
Yeah. So
The CS is not gonna matter. So CS honestly does not matter until you get to like diamond. I'm not gonna lie, right? It's just something like this will happen instead, right? Or you got 3 kills somehow. That's your money, right? So not something you need to worry about just yet. What the heck was that? You guys just walk away here. Wait, you need to block this. What's going on?
yeah, I tried to. That's why I just didn't move at all.
Okay, I guess fine, good enough. I think what we're gonna be seeing is a lot of fighting, right? So we're gonna be teaching you how to get the best out of like fighting situations, right? So let's fast forward a little bit. Laning seems to be fine. Laning seems to be really good, actually. It's just, sure, you could have missed less CS, but overall it's very good. Okay. All right, what's wrong with this picture? This is not... This is like laning related, I guess.
I am too far up when I can just sit back and wait for minions.
How do you know you're too far up? What's the pattern that you can recognize here? Every game.
That their jungler's missing and all the minions are pushing towards me.
Yeah, all the minions are pushing towards you. The jungler doesn't have to be here for this to be a problem, right? All the minions are here. You have no minions, so you need to leave, right? Because you'll be stuck in this running situation like this.
Yeah.
If you start fighting, you have one option, which is run away. So they're just gonna throw everything at you while you're running away, right? So unless you're baiting or you guys can win 2v2 against their minions, it's just not gonna look good, right? So Soraka took 1 million damage, but again, it shouldn't be too much of a problem at this rank yet, right? Were you aiming the Rakan there? Interesting.
Yeah, I really was, but then I was like, he probably moved after he saw I was there. He was there. I was like, well, committed already.
Interesting. All right, so let's fast forward. Let's see what's going on. Putting traps down, sure. Talon is coming to Rome, sure. Everything seems fine and dandy. As long as we're not dying, we're probably winning this game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where's Talon now? Oh, this could be awkward. You guys don't want to fight this, right? How do you know?
Soraka got chunked at the start.
Oh, how do you know even if Soraka's full HP?
They're just... I don't know. Well, we win by trading, they win by
yes, correct, right? That's how you know, is that you don't want this, right? This can only end in one way. Unless they have such poor fighting that they lose, right? Their fighting has to be so poor they lose, but you guys are not winning that, right? So that's how you know. Is anytime there's a lane mistake, that's the first thing you think of, okay? Is you think of matchup. And then that's what will tell you what's going on. So the instant Soraka walked up to try and do some kind of heavy trading, you know, they're gonna all in. You guys are gonna lose, right? So I think you guys get away there, but it's still not a good position, right? Soraka lost all their HP for whatever reason. That's not necessarily your fault, right? Because she just comes up and like does whatever. So you play this fine, I think, right?
Yeah.
As long as you know that it's not a good situation, you played it fine, right?
Real quick while we're here, do you have any general tips against Rakan? Because he seems to give me the biggest problems in the games I've played since I came back. As Caitlyn.
Rakan, pre-6, right? Rakan has to W you to catch you. And the catch is, you can beat it in 2 ways, okay? You can dodge it, which I think is actually not that hard. Or not that bad, right? As long as you know it's coming. Or you can prepare your net the instant he goes in. Because you can actually net out of his knockup, right? The knockup is delayed. So you can use your net to get out of the knockup. Like go in a practice tour with a friend. Or not practice tour, but like a custom game with a friend and say, hey, hit me with the knockup. I'm going to use my net right when you go in. And then you'll see that it actually works. So that's what you can do pre-6, right?
Yeah.
Post-6, you have to be out of range. Or what's going to happen is that he's going to ulti you, you're going to get rooted, Talon comes over, right? So you have to be out of range, right? So that begs the question, you know, what do I do? And the answer is you play safe and you farm, and then when he messes up his engage, then you can kill his ass, right?
Yeah.
You can hit whatever you want.
I try to put a trap because like I said, I don't have the matchup knowledge. I was like, I wonder if I have enough time when he does it. Would I have enough time Trap
No,
even.
you would have to trap before he did. You would have to know he's going in and where he's going in, and trap right before he goes in. So
Okay.
I would say extremely difficult.
Better just to net.
Right. I would not aim for that. Right. And it's not gonna stop. I don't think it's gonna stop his knockup. You can't. There's like no possible way you can like stop his knockup in time. It doesn't make sense, right? When you think of like a counter plan, you want it to work 9 times out of 10, or rather, you should be able to execute it every time. Right, like our counter plan is, our counter play is we're gonna net it, because we know it works every time. Also, how come we're maxing net second? I just
I'm
noticed.
not gonna lie, I did that by mistake. And
Oh,
I
okay,
didn't
okay,
realize
okay.
it's super late, and then I was like, well, oops out.
No worries then. Yeah, you definitely want net last, right? But honestly, this is fine, right? Oh, what's going on here? He's dying. Oh my God, he is not. Let me watch this. So what goes wrong in these games for you to lose? Now I'm curious because it seems like we're
in this one. This was one of the inconsistent games I had, and I played very poorly later.
interesting because this looks pretty free from the laning phase. Look at this. Look at the difference in the laning phase right now. Let's take a look. We don't really care about CS right now, unless it's like you're 50 CS down. We don't care about that right now, right? If you want to work on that, go in a practice tool. That's all you need to do. Okay. And then the second tip I can give you is be super patient. Right. Like pretend every minion you're last hitting is if you don't last hit it, we're taking $20 from your bank account. Okay. That's what I want you to think. That's how you do it. Is super patient. You'll never hit it too early. I promise. If you become super patient last hitting. But even then, I would say do not worry about that. Right. If you wanted to work on that, that's what you do. Right now, this is like the ideal situation we want to be in, right? Coming out of lane phase, I would say. Like if you can get out of lane phase every game like this, you're winning. Okay. Right? We call this winning, right? Because not only did we win bot, right? I would say we won bot with our monetary advantage, right? We also won mid lane. He roamed. Now he's fucked, right? He roamed, didn't get anything, and now he's screwed. So. Sure, he got a kill, but he also died. So it doesn't really make sense. I don't know why he did that. Now you guys are winning. So let's see what actually goes wrong here. Because it's going to be mid-game stuff or late-game stuff. Where that's where people who do really well in lane throw, right? Did you notice this, by the way? This is actually what we're talking about. You can actually do it, right?
Yeah.
So this is the
like
foolproof.
Just want to make sure.
Right. That's your foolproof answer. And then the counter is he's gonna flash. He can like flash knock. That's not gonna happen, right? So don't worry about that. But his like counter thing would be like he's gonna flash knock up. In which case you just hold on to your net or you use your flash.
Yeah.
Okay.
And right there.
Okay. Let's talk about this. Okay, we can hit this guy. Oh, what happened?
I got aggressive and there's 3 people missing and 2 people there.
What happened? Pretend no one else exists except for these 5 people. What happened here? That was not good.
I missed my net. No, I don't have net. I miscalculated damage or something.
Right. Is this gonna kill him? Even if he doesn't have heal, is this gonna kill him?
It seems not.
It's not gonna kill him, right? Yeah. And then it's like whenever you make a play. Right. And when we say play, we mean anything that involves flash, anything that involves abilities, anything that involves not hitting the closest guy. Right. We'll call that a play. Right. Anytime you try to make a play, if it doesn't work, it's called a throw.
All
right. That's what I want you to think. So you will want to be more conservative than not, because nowadays I think League is about who can throw less. Right. Who can throw less for their team? Because the instant we kind of make a play and it doesn't work, it's like disaster, right? So like we already, even if you don't get punished for this, like even if they don't come down, this is already like losing flash is already like not good, right? But it's like it's disaster, right? Like let's say what happens if we didn't use our flash and we just left them, like you went for the Q and then you just pushed.
I'll get the farm, he wouldn't.
Yes, so we're already winning there, and then you'd also get the tower, and then he's stuck, right? So you're winning there, right? So a play is like you do a good thing for your team, or a good thing for yourself. A throw is the opposite, right? So the reason why making a play is so important to make a play clean is because not making the play is like average. It's like neutral. It's like 0, right? Making a good play is +1. Making a bad play or throwing is -1. So we went from we could have had 1, but we got -1. You know what I'm saying? It's like counterproductive. So this is definitely how you're gonna be losing. Like the laning phase is really good. Right, laning phase, you're like, I saw you're just pushing. It doesn't matter that you're not trading because you don't need to trade to win as long as you're getting your CS. And then you didn't get caught, winning the game. And then we did something like this, and it's like, oh no. So it's like when you want to do something alternative, you have to know it works for whatever reason, right? Logically speaking. So how do you know this works?
How do I know it works?
How do you?
Don't.
Exactly. You have to have a concrete reason, right? Like let's say flash auto attack, he's gonna die no matter what, right? For example, or you're gonna Q him and he's trapped, right? He cannot dodge. He literally cannot dodge, right? Okay. But something like this, I can come up with like so many different ways this doesn't work, right? Like what if he, let's say he was gonna die even if he healed, but he used the movement speed to dodge down. Okay. Right, and then we got a problem, right? What if Rakan went for the knockup right when you flash, right? Anything like that. We already have 2 ways this like goes wrong, right? So that's kind of the it's like if it can go wrong, it will go wrong. So anything you do, there has to be no way for them to stop it. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise it's just kind of disaster. You can also attribute this to chasing as well, right? You don't want to chase in League unless you know how you catch up to them, right? But I think you were catching up, so it's fine to chase here. It's just I think we lost our minds when they were getting away, so we like channeled ulti or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that? What was the idea behind the ulti too?
I was like, well, I can chunk either I chunk out Jenny for sure, or I chunk out the Rakan, and then I was like freer, but that was probably not the best idea because I could just auto attack instead, and that would probably be better. Yes,
just auto attack instead, right? So we always say, you know, don't do this, don't do that, but then you also have to say what should you do instead, right? So in this situation, what I would do instead is just auto attack until he couldn't dodge, and then you throw your Q, and then you reevaluate then because I doubt you can get anything after that, right? Another idea you could come up with is something like flash trap for Rakan, but I also don't think that works, right? Because what's the counterplay?
He walks around it.
Okay, yeah, he can walk around it, but I think most players will not see it, right? But let's say he knows it's coming. Then I also think that at this range, it's not going to arm in time. Okay. Right. So it's not clean. Right. So if you're not 90% sure, it's just not going to work. But then the counterplay is something like he's just going to W away or some shit. Right. So it's just not going to work. So there's nothing. That's how we know there's nothing there to be found. There's literally no way you could get them. You should just hit them and then walk out. Hit them and back off. So yeah, that was kind of the first place we kind of went wrong was kind of trying to do something, but it wasn't 100%, right? I think you definitely have the right idea when it comes to fighting, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what's going on here? This guy is just going in. Okay.
Yeah, he's very, very strong.
What is going on? All right, let's take a look. Oh no. I think you just die here.
Yeah.
There's not really much you can say about this. Honestly, it's just I would actually not worry about this too much, right? There's not much you could have done here because you can say something like, "Oh, we should net trap" or anything like that, but this is just losing, right? And the only way you know this is losing is that you should know that he's here. But I think he's just like straight. He's just too strong for whatever reason, right? I would not worry about this death, right? Even though it looks really bad, the thing you should really worry about is the like flashing forward and it doesn't work because that led to this situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was flash. And...
Right, we have outplay potential if we have all our stuff up and we didn't die, right? Game's different.
Level 14.
Right, so I don't know what's going on there, but he's just insanely strong. The only thing, like the other way you can think about it is, you know, what if their Aurelion Soul is super strong or their jungler is rank guard, he has 10 kills. You can give up tower if you know that, but that situation is not going to come up often, so we're going to pretend that didn't happen, right? That's not something we look at to see how we improve on it. I think you were doing fine all the way up until you tried to make a flash play, and it kind of wasn't quite clean, right? That's what you should be always aiming for is clean. Okay, how about this? What's going on here? That's not good.
We're starting dragon. We don't know where people are at.
How do you know this dragon works? Similar to how we know that flash play works or doesn't work, right? How do we know this dragon works?
We lose team fights, so it doesn't work.
I agree. We don't know it works is the problem. So,
Yeah.
What's a good reason for knowing dragon works? Like, what's the most common reason, would you say?
Numbers.
Dead people. Yeah, numbers. Are there numbers here? No numbers here. So, what's the next common way?
If you can blow somebody up.
Okay. How do you blow someone up?
Land skill shots or just be insanely ahead.
Well, how do you land? How do you guarantee that you land skill shots?
CC.
Mm,
And vision.
vision. Okay. Second most common way you know this works is they have no vision. And how do you guarantee that they have no vision?
You don't let them get shuttle.
No. Well, that too, but you have pink wards.
Okay.
Right? Because even if they have scuttle, you can hide here. And they won't know, right? You could actually be dude dragon. You could be hitting here. No one knows what you're doing until they put a word in there. So vision is the second most common way. So when you see this, you know this is 100% gonna lose because we don't have a way, right? It doesn't work. So it's not good, right? And then a lot of people are like, oh, it doesn't hurt trying to start it, right? So what do you think about that?
Well, they find out where everyone's at, so they can change how they want to play, I guess.
True. Okay. What's another reason or the reason I'm looking for?
You just lose health.
This is also true. Okay, those are actually really good reasons. But there's another more advanced reason where you can't get back to your tower. If you start this and they come stop you, what's the path back to your mid tower?
Around like wolves and everything. You have to go.
Yeah. So by the time you do that, your tower's gone, right? So that would be the kind of more advanced reason why we can't just randomly start dragon, right? If you always need a reason to say it works for the reason. Like, what's the reason? Hitting this guy is working?
Because there's gonna be 3 of us on that side, and
good,
he can't
right?
really trade with me.
There's a solid reason. You have more people, right? That's what you want to see. And then he's chasing. It might work, might not work. I don't think it's working. You don't want to ulti that. I'm pretty sure. You guys just want to kite this Jace. Oh.
Yeah.
You guys are all dying, aren't you? Oh. Okay.
We don't
Lee Sin's dying.
die.
Lee Sin's dying. But Lee Sin got a kill. What is going on? Okay. Well, as long as you stay alive, you're definitely winning this now. Okay. Okay. Good. You just hit the closest guy. You're winning. Right. Yeah. Anything? Oh. Okay. Hit the closest guy. This is very. Dude, I like how you did not chase this guy.
Yeah.
Right.
I
because
watched a lot of videos recently, and I was like, I'm not gonna let him yell at me for this.
Right. That was amazing. Right. This is 10 out of 10. Oh my god. All right. So how did you throw so hard earlier? I don't understand. That was so good. Holy shit. Let's watch this again. This net trap was beautiful. Oh my god. Let me watch this again. I'm studying this, dude. You're gonna net and you put a trap right on top of yourself and you're gonna back off. I was 10 out of 10 execution. All right. So how did it go so wrong with the flash? That's my question. I don't understand.
The consistency thing also varies game to game. Because, like, I will be honest, sometimes I'm like, well, this is kind of boring. And then I'll just be like, I wonder if I can outplay them.
Oh, no. Okay, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So, like, I'm trying to get better about that, and honestly.
It's so funny because I'm just like, what possessed you to just fucking flash forward? But it just doesn't make sense. All right, let's watch this too. What's going on here?
I misclicked on my map once here, and then I just misclicked the enemy, and I walked too far forward.
This is some interesting ARAM. Why is ARAM here actually good for your team?
Our lanes are pushing.
Yes, you already pushed your lane out. So what's happening to what's not good for them right now?
They're losing money.
Yeah, they're losing money. So you already got your money. So we're happy. We're very happy about this, right? And then this other shit breaks out. And then what's your job here?
Hit closest and don't die.
Right. And then you can even say something like, "Oh, just stall them." So we don't really have to do anything. So what are we in range of right now? That you asked about earlier.
Rakan, Jax.
Right. How is he gonna do it specifically?
OTW, I guess that's the...
Okay, OTW, ulti flash W, dash to Jax ulti, right? Anything like that. He could be in this bush, same thing, right? So
or Jin Snare.
One thing, yeah, I would say Jin Snare is less common when you're getting randomly caught. But it is true that you can get hit by Jin Snare. So you asked how do you play against Rakan? And the answer is you pretend the closest guy next to you is Rakan.
Okay.
Unless you see him. right? Because Rakan's gonna dash to him, right? You have to pretend that this guy is Rakan, right? And then all of a sudden we're losing this. Why are we losing this?
4v5.
Whoa, oh, it is 4v5. That's true. We also got caught though. We lost a lot of HP. It actually, we could actually say that doesn't matter because of Soraka. So, but yeah, this is 4v5. So you're automatically losing. There's nothing you can do here except stall this out. Okay, good. You didn't chase. Holy shit. One more half step, and I think you could have gotten caught by that stun. We could have aimed him, but I think it's fine that you didn't. As long as you're not chasing, I don't really care. And then you can make a play here, possibly something like E flash. Probably not. It's not gonna work. But if you don't see it, it's fine. So we play that perfectly fine. Basically, the only place we're going wrong is, you know, random CS in lane, which we don't really care about, and the time you just like flash forward. Okay, what are we doing here that might be questionable?
We're pushing forward, and they're also alive.
Right. So what's the worst case scenario?
We die.
Right
they
here.
get like 3 towers.
How specifically are they gonna engage on you?
Rakan from Fog of War, Jax from Fog of War.
Right. Where specifically though? You need to know exactly where. Otherwise, you can't prepare for it, right?
Raptor Bush.
Okay. I think this is a very common spot, right? Since the beginning of League of Legends, this one and this one are like the fiddlestick spots, right?
Yeah.
You can even say something like TP behind you, and I think you would lose even if you have flash, right? So unless you are prepared for all their engages, you can't do this, right? So I don't think you're prepared, and even if you are prepared, there's nothing else to get here, right? What are you gonna do? Hit this tower, right? I would not recommend this, right? It just doesn't. It just doesn't. It just doesn't not make sense, right? So that begs the question: what should you do instead, right? Okay, how do we know? First is how do we know we shouldn't do this?
The map's black.
Right.
And
so numbers advantage is the first reason, and you stop there. You just say numbers advantage is the reason you don't want to do this. And then the second is what do you want to do instead? What do you want to do instead?
Get cash.
So how do you do that?
I can't see the bot lane farm, but is it pushing towards me?
It's about to push towards you. Yeah, it's on. It's coming to you.
So I guess get shuttle and then run down there. And
right. You can even say something like, since it's taking a long time to push, you can wolves and gromp and scuttle. Right. Anything that involves making money. Right. Anything that involves making money. So this, how much money do we make doing this?
Nothing.
I agree. And then what do we get out of it?
2 hits on a tower. Right.
So what is this? 100, 200, 250 tower damage? Not really worth, I would say, right? Yeah, Rumble has the right idea. You see what he's doing?
Yeah.
But the problem with this, what's the problem with this? Is that you guys spent some of your time trying to hit the tower already. So he can't get this in time, right? That's the problem. See, they're already coming to fight him, right? So the reason why you can go do that stuff and not get stopped is because they're busy killing these minions. So Rumble can take this because you can see them here, right? But let's say you hit the tower and then you go do raids or you go do scuttle, they're gonna chase you. They're gonna be right behind you, right? They can stop you while you're in the middle of it. So this might be a little bit late, right? Something like Jace can come down on this path through Tribush, and it'll take you too long to do this, right? So, but we went eventually, which is good. I don't think you can take that ground because Lee Sin really wants that. So Scuttle is fine. I think it's fine. You don't have anything to buy. I like the way you stay. So far, everything is very good except the CS and the one time you threw, I think. So I think the story of your gameplay is definitely going to be like something like randomly dying, right?
Yes. I think. And I have right here as well. I'm pretty sure if I'm thinking of the right spot.
Okay, so we just hit the closest guy. Oh, Rakan, right? So we already know. How do you know? Where's Rakan? Where's Rakan?
He's close enough to go to Jax.
Yeah. So Jax is Rakan. That's what I want you to think, right? So that's how you know is that there's one engage that wins and then you die, right? What's another reason here?
Lee's dead.
Right, 4v5. So you don't want to fight, right? What do you want to do?
Not die.
Right, but okay, let's say you can guarantee not dying by spacing away from Rakan and Jax and all that, and stay under your tower. So what's your second priority?
Set a trap line. And clear minions.
Clear minions.
Okay.
That's all you care about. Is stalling until your teammate is back. Okay. That's what you care about. Yeah. And then what do you do here? That's not what we just said.
I walked forward to trade.
Yeah, you try to hit this guy, and it's 45, so they're gonna jump in, right? So yeah, you guys are automatically losing, right? Even if they had no minions, you guys are just all dying, right? So that's the problem, is that you do really well when it's even numbers and you're not flashing in, right? But then when it's 4v5, I think you just kind of don't realize it, or you don't prioritize correctly, right? Because Because if it's 4v5, you literally should not be able to do anything unless they're like running in your face and you trap all of them, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the big areas you're going to be looking at in this game, next game, all these games. Like I think we were in a winning situation, like heavily winning right earlier, and now it's like completely losing, right? So the reasons being is that we're just dying. I think it's just like, so I don't know how, but we're just somehow dying in 4v5, or we try to make a play. Honestly, I only saw you trying to make that play once, so it might not even be a problem. But unless it happens like once every game, we'll let it slide. Unless it happens every game, then we gotta look at it. But the other fighting was beautiful. I think it was 10 out of 10, right? You can probably say something like, oh, we should, min max and like hit the J's instead of like tracks, because J's is 1 HP. Nah, you're doing fine. You're doing 10 out of 10, especially at this rank, right? It's just randomly dying like here, right? Like how do we know we're dying here?
I came too late to the fight, and they're all still up.
Okay, let's take a look. All right, so bam, what happened?
It's a 4v5 and still.
Yeah. So, what's your goal then?
Clear minions.
This is true. Okay, let's make it more broad. So, when your team gets a kill, when you get a catch for free, or it's a 4v5 for whatever reason, in your favor, your general idea is, how do we get more?
Yeah.
So like, oh, dragon, oh, tower, push waves, get more money, whatever. And then if you get caught, or not you specifically, but your team, if your team gets caught, someone dies. Also, you're maxing net here, which is kind of awkward, but
we don't talk about that.
Yeah, don't max net, max trap. But anyways, let's say someone on your team gets caught. Your general goal, sure, it can be like, clear waves, but the general idea is damage control. Okay? Is because sometimes you can't clear this wave. Let's say your whole team dies. How do you clear this wave without getting dove, right? You can't. So we're going to put it in more general terms of damage control, right? One thing that separates great league players from good league players is the good league players know how to capitalize on their advantage, and the great league players know how to minimize the disadvantage when their team gets caught, right? How can you swat out the fires, right, before they begin? So in this case, how do you damage control?
Just backpinging our team and trying to see if they'll back out and have us defend the turret.
All right, you do, but under no circumstances do you go and fight, right?
Yeah.
You like say something like you put a trap line, everyone gets out, right?
Okay.
That would be an example of we need a everyone needs to get the hell out, right? Because this is 100% losing. So I would say you're trying to fight here.
Yeah. Right.
So one thing I think would help you the most from seeing just this replay is recognizing when you want to fight and when you don't want to fight, right? Because whenever it's 4v5, I feel like you're still trying to hit someone.
Yeah.
Right. That's not quite right, because you're not winning that no matter what you do, right? And the reason why we know you're not winning that is because you don't have the items for it, or it's not late game enough, or whatever reason, it's mid game, early game, you can't win 4v5s by yourself as an AD carry, right? There's no line of play that will let you win the 4v5. Nothing like you can even net trap, and it's still not good enough, right? Maybe that'll be good enough, 15 minutes in the game, but right now it's not even close, right? So I think your biggest problem is recognizing when to not fight 4v5. You know what I'm saying? Because you keep trying to hit someone whenever someone on your team is dead, and it's like not good. So this game is kind of like moot now because it happened 3 times in a row.
Yeah,
I think like one time mid, one time I think 2 times mid, right? One time was like in the middle of the lane, Lee Sin was dead or something, or Rumble was dead. I don't remember.
Yeah,
and then one time was at the inner tower, and then another time is up here, up in your red bush, right, or in your red area. So it's just right now the band-aid fix is look at numbers. You have less people, damage control. That's what I want you to think. Okay, you're not trying to win fights or anything like that. You're just trying to stall. Whatever you can do to stall the game until your teammate is alive. That's what you're gonna do. Okay. But now the game is like almost out of your hands, right? I would say we already threw too much for this to be a win. So there's almost nothing you can do here, right? There are too many advantages. So I think we should just move on to the next replay.
Okay.
Right. Don't worry about that one Jax gank. We would say that is a what's it called? That's not gonna happen.
Okay.
Most of your games. That you'll rarely see someone so strong they can just like do something like that, right? When they just run it down into your tower. Okay, that's just not normal. So especially with your like Lee Sin next to you. So don't worry about that. Okay. We can talk about items too. And like skills. You know, definitely max W.
Yeah,
right, for sure.
I think I might have done that next replay because I played. This is the first game I played like that day, and then my next game is the second game I played that day, and like you could just tell the difference of like my actual level.
This is my cookie cutter strategy, or decision heuristic when it comes to maxing skills on Caitlyn. Okay, you can do this, you can not do this, but the most important thing is don't max net, right?
Yeah, got it.
So the standard is 3 in Q and then max traps.
Okay.
Right? Because traps will always be useful, right?
Yeah.
And then if you have CC on your team and they have a bunch of tanks, still max traps. All right, 3 in Q, max traps. And then if they have no tanks and you have CC, you can actually max Q. Because you can guarantee a Q on a squishy that they're gonna die, right?
Okay.
But even if you max traps, you can trap combo, so it's still fine, right? So you can't really go wrong with traps max, but sometimes you can Q max, okay? But 3 in Q and then max traps, I think would be good. But honestly, didn't even come into play this game, right?
Yeah.
It was just the fights were just so bad, we were unable to actually win, right? When you had even fights, it was actually incredible how well you played, right? Like something like this. You were right. Your team fighting is really good. It's just you tried to do fights where it was impossible to win, so your team fighting didn't matter, right? The level of your team fighting literally did not matter because they had more people, right? There's nothing you could do, right? Like look at this. This is exactly what you should be doing, right? 10 out of 10, right? The reason why you don't have to finish him off is because once you get rid of this guy, you can ulti him or something like that, right? Or you just dice to Cho'Gath, that works too, right? It's 100% winning, right? So it's just these times when it's just you're trying to do something and your job is to wave clear and you're like trying to walk up, right? That's what we gotta fix, I think. Let's take a look at the other games. Let's see.
Yeah, do part 1 because I DC for a minute in this game.
Oh, okay, interesting. We can real quick talk about laning, but I think if your laning is like last game, it's gonna be extremely good. What is your comp and what is their comp?
Ours is poke / catch because if she gets a snare, I get trapped into all the damage, and then them I would classify as catch as well.
Yep, agreed. And what else do they have?
Better poke, I guess, with Jhin. No way to be this.
Jhin doesn't poke. Yeah. Remember, poke is cannot respond. Yeah. So if you Q someone, you're gonna hit him back, right?
Yeah. Chase down, maybe.
So if Tom Kench eats someone, are they dying?
No.
No. Like if he eats Zyra, is she dying?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, she's fucking dying. yeah. So they have very strong all-in. One of the strongest all-ins, right? Is if he's eating someone, you got a problem, right? Yeah. Even if you're full HP, you're dying, right?
The Zyra kind of carries me through lane. I'm not gonna lie.
Nice. Honestly, we can just skip past this because I think your laning was very good in terms of priorities, right? Very safe. You're just trying to get all your CS, and then whenever they do something stupid, you punish, right? I like it a lot, right? Like look at this. This is very good. We don't have to watch this. I already know it's gonna be good. Push this out, sure. Yada. Not sure. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I missed it.
Here we go. What's going on here?
I didn't know her plant was gonna kill it, to be honest.
Not like this.
Yeah. And then I missed everything else.
Oh no. Okay, so what's the foolproof? How do we know Flash Q doesn't work?
He can dodge it.
Yes, he can dodge it. So, what do you do instead?
Net into auto tech range?
You can net into auto tech range. I think that's fine. You can flash auto. I think that's fine. But remember, 90%. That's all you care about. 90% it works. So we'll call that unlucky, but I think it's less unlucky than a bad habit because we saw it last game too. So that's kind of awkward. And then you could have done a net trap there. It was close. Nice try. I think you were looking for it, right? It was just execution was missed because you're like focusing on Tom Kench or something. Whatever. It was nice try. Nice attempt. I personally like smart casting my trap for that exact reason. So I can do the net trap combo. It's really good. Like you killed the. Remember, Jax was like level 14 or whatever. He was insanely strong. You just net trap him. You killed his ass, right? So okay, wow. Is this another Jax? What's going on here?
Yeah, there's a lot of Jaxes.
So
games I play.
This is that was insane how you just dodged that. But you know, why are we dying here? What's the reason?
I don't die.
Oh my god.
But
Why
I
should
should
we
if
die?
they just
Why
auto
should we die
attack.
here?
I didn't respect it, and I just didn't instinct, and I didn't have flash.
Yes, you didn't have flash. So, when it comes to ganks, just remember this for now, okay? Is if you push up and you have no flash, you're dying to gank, right? And if you push up, you have no health, and you have flash, you're still dying to gank because you have no health, right? So you have flash and you have health is when you're not dying to gank. Here's the exception: is their laning is very good at assisting ganks, and their gank is extremely good. That's when you're dying no matter what. Let's say you're playing against Olaf, Thresh, and Kalista. You're dying no matter what, right? Yeah, if you push up. This is actually quite relevant because this is extremely strong, right? Same thing. Jax, Jhin, and Tahm Kench. So if you had flash, Jax is gonna jump and flash stun you. You're done. You get stunned, and it's just like, oh, it's just tragic, right? So, but basically you just have no flash, so you're dying here. That's just the gist of it, right? I also think you could have seen him, so you could have gotten out, but the standard is you have no words and the gank is coming. So you have no words, the gank is coming. That's how you know is if you have flash or not, right? You get away though, so I guess we can't complain too much. But honestly, even if you had died to that gank, I think we have bigger fish to fry, right?
Yes.
Like all this seems very good, right? Literally the only reason you lost last game is because the 4v5 and the flash forward. Even the flash forward was not as bad as the 4v5s, right? 4v5s gave up like
4 kills and 5 kills.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so how do you know this is working?
We killed Jhin.
Yes, numbers advantage. So remember, big reason. So when you try to start the Ocean Dragon the last game, there was no reason, right? You had no reason. Yeah. So that's how you know it's losing. And then how do you stop the steal?
Deny vision.
Yes, or something like I'm playing Tristana, I ulti him out, or I'm playing Gragas, I ulti him out. Whatever, you have to have a way to do it, right? You're just playing Xin, he ultis him out. He doesn't have level 6, so this might get stolen. So that could be awkward, but you guys get it, right? But remember, you have to have a reason for pretty much doing everything, right? Why do we trade? Because our matchup says we trade, right? Why are we all in? Our matchup says we all in. Why are we fighting? We have more people, right? Always has to have a big reason. Right? If you can't come up with a big reason, either you're missing something or there is no reason, right? Either you're like missing knowledge or there really is no way to do it. So, like in this case, what's going on here?
I try to trade with him with my net, and I don't know the distances well enough.
Right. So I think we're dying, right, to some Jax gank if he comes out. Oh, Zara is going for some interesting idea. Okay, hold on. Let's talk about this. Like the order this. All right.
The terrible ward I just put down.
No. We're gonna talk about this whole sequence. So, what happens if you try and hit them and Jax comes out the side?
I get ganked, and I have to pray that he does it after my flashes back up, or I die.
Yeah, you have some problems, right? You need to make sure that maybe somehow snare hits him or we dodge his stun. I don't know. We got problems, but it looks like you're not ready for it because you're trying to hit them, right? So. One idea you can take a look at is for laning, if anything, pretend he's always ganking you. Okay, if you're gonna work on anything, you work on that. Everything else looks really good, right? Except maybe CS, but this word is fine because you can see him coming through Chai, right?
Low volume success. Yeah.
Did he have heal?
Not sure, to be honest.
Then it doesn't work, right? Yeah. This is how you lose flash for heal. He had heal. So don't do this. You have to know it's gonna work. You have to know you can execute. Okay, first off is that there's no way they can stop it theoretically, and then the second is you can mechanically pull it off 90% of the time. Those two things together tells you whether or not you can make a play. But I think this is just a bad habit right now, right? It's just you're just always doing it, and in my eyes, if I was you, I would be thinking to myself, this is never gonna work, right? And so I think that's like holding you back, right? Even though you got the kill, look at last game, we gave up like our advantage like the whole game, right? And if let's say for example, he got away with his heal, okay, so it doesn't look too bad at first because there's no instant repercussion, but you guys base come back to lane, you can't push anymore, you have no flash.
Yeah.
So you're like kind of not in as much control as you should be, right? It just doesn't really make any sense, right? Basically, whenever you look for a play, remember 90% of the time it's gonna work. Okay, that's what I want you to think. The 10% of the time it doesn't work is something really weird has to happen, or you like have a seizure while you're doing it, so you misplay it, right? That's what I want you to think.
Alright.
Alright, let's say for example, you're gonna do some net trap on Jax, and you know that if you do it, you're gonna kill him, but you like make a mistake because you're like panic, and then you like trap wrong. You say that's fine, okay? Because you knew the theory, right? The theory was correct. It was just your execution was wrong. So if you keep doing that, you'll get it right eventually, right?
Alright.
But here, the theory is not right, so it's never gonna work, right? Even if you execute it perfectly, it should never work, right? So that's what we're trying to avoid here right now. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, there's a lot of bot lane action, some kind of gank going on. Uh-oh. Okay. Oh no. Okay, you just want to run now. After that, after you see that, you just gotta run.
Yeah.
Really unfortunate, but honestly, there's nothing you could do here, right? You can't even say something like net flash trap if you had flash, because Tom Kench is gonna eat him in time, right? There's no way. There's no way you can get him. So, unlucky. Your jungler, not your fault. Your jungler killed himself. So, let's see what's going on here. What is going on? He is doing something suspicious. Oh, he's dying. Nope. How do you know that doesn't work?
Gray health or shield thing.
Right, he just shields. So the thing is, this is how we know, is that you come up with a way for them to stop it. And then if you can come up with a single way, don't do that thing. Okay? Like you say you're doing Baron, and it's 1v, you killed everyone but their jungle, and you can come up with a way they steal it. Like, oh, he's Lee Sin, he's gonna hop in, kick my jungler, and then smite it. And then it happens, you guys are losing, right? So if you can come up with a way, don't do it. Okay, like in this instant, we knew because you could come up with a way he shields, right?
Yeah.
Don't make a play unless you know 90%. We know that doesn't work because it's just not in range, I think, right?
Yeah. It was hopeful thinking.
Yeah, it was a nice try. Honestly, you have nothing to lose for trying for that, so that's fine. But anything that involves like you're using something to try and do something, don't do it. Like flash, net forward, ulti, anything like that, you consider a throw. Okay, it's just building a bad habit. It's not just a throw, but it's building a bad habit that's preventing you from being able to win these games that you should, right? Like you're in so much control of this game, but if you lose, it's because of stuff like this, right? And 4v5s, right? So mechanics are really good, I think. Definitely compared to these guys, you're always winning bot lane. It seems like it's just that we just kind of bad fights, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Jax is here. You guys back off. Good. Push. Yo, Zyre's in his face. Wow.
Yeah.
That was clean. If you were playing Zyre, do you think you could come up with a way to guarantee a snare?
Walk more towards the wall and see if he flashes that way, just straight up away from you.
I would do something like he's gonna flash on your root, right?
Yeah.
But he can't tell what the root looks like. So you could do something like you're gonna Q and then root to where he flashes, right? That would be an example of a plan that's gonna work, right? Okay. In theory, but I guess she didn't think of that in time, right? Anything like that works, but that's just an example of something we could come up with. Honestly, on AD carry it doesn't matter as much because we rarely get to do stuff like that. But oh my God, does this work? It's working.
Yeah.
Nice. That was good. Oh. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but I don't think that ulti makes any sense. You can just kill his ass. All right, push, and then what happened here? How come we didn't keep pushing?
I had a lot of money, and yeah, that was it.
Okay, I actually think this is fine. Sure, if you think you want a base for this Infinity Edge, go for it, or static, whatever.
Yeah, I have a question first. What should I be like building? Because it seems like most people are just straight up BS sword into Shiv into IE, right?
I go Infinity Edge myself.
Okay.
For the burst on your headshots and for Q damage, right?
Okay.
I don't really care about static, right? Especially since it got nerfed. So I always go Infinity Edge if I can. That's just my preference.
And is there like a simple like 2-second guide on like how to go about Zeo items? Because I usually just get rapid fire and Shiv. Just
you can't go wrong with rapid fire Shiv, right? The only time you want something like Runon's Executioners is they have a Soraka of Vladimir and like a Lowy or something like that. In which case you can like kind of reason it out, right? Oh my God, you're gonna kill his ass. Yeah, your mechanics are so good. It's just that when you lose, it's because of that was unlucky. But when you lose, it's because of 4v5 or doing some crazy play that kind of doesn't make sense. You're getting ganked over and over again. This is so good for your team. The reason why you guys are winning so hard is because he's come bot so many times and it doesn't work, right?
The rest of the team's actually not doing the best.
Look at top lane, right? Isn't top lane completely winning? Mid lane's completely winning, right? Look at the tower.
Yeah,
so if we can press tab, let me see if we can press tab. Oh, that's a TP gank. You wanna flash now? Oh, okay, you get out. I think that is fine, right? Completely winning in the solo lanes. Look at this. Right. Let me fast forward. You press tab at any point in time?
I should. Oh, that's when I crashed. So.
Okay, let's take a look at the second one.
So yeah, just go to part 2, and I should press it soon.
Oh, not that. Right. So I think it's kind of clear how your gameplay is like. Right. Let me see if you see somewhere here.
Yeah, and that's how I got one of my 3 deaths this game too.
Bam. Okay, they should be winning harder, but I don't think it's bad at all. You have so much control on the top side. I think in monetary what's it called? In terms of money, they're doing at least even. So this is good because they have to do something to stop it, right?
Yeah.
It's bad if Jin is already here, for example, right? In which case they stand still. But if you can do something like this, I think it's fine, right? They have to do something like you got his flash, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, you guys are taking scuttle. Okay, go back, push bot. Sure. Wow, you guys are fighting bot, but whatever. Push. Oh, what happened here?
We're not fighting bot. She's fighting bot.
Let me see. Back it up. Okay, really trying to push for this. And you guys want to run?
I'm just...
Not your fault. Okay. When you see this, what do you think?
There's 4 of them down here.
Remember what we said last game. When you guys get a kill, you think, how do I get more? When you guys die, what do you think?
How do you stop them from getting more?
Right, damage control. So, what are you doing that's not damage control?
Not backing up to my tower to be safe.
Right, you gotta run. Because Tom Kench ulti, Jin ulti, whatever is happening, you're dying no matter what. Right? So that's the problem. This is the one, if you take anything away from this coaching session, it's this idea. When someone on your team dies, damage control, okay? You can no longer do the things that you usually should be able to because someone on your team is dead, right? I think it's just an extremely common trend we're seeing in these games, right? It's just like every time you die is actually one of these fusions, right? What is Xin doing? Oh, did he steal it?
Yes.
That's not worth, I think, right? Why would I say that's not worth?
Because we're a person down, they can take our mid tower or our bot tower and get more money.
Right, they can even get a tower, right? But what if they run to Baron? How do you guys stop that?
Oh, we don't.
Right, it's like very hard. You're gonna have to face check, and they're probably not even doing it. They're just gonna kill you all, right? So there are problems. So maybe if it's Inferno Dragon, you can say you want to do that. Okay, so same thing here, right? Team is dead. See how it's like snowballing over and over again. It's like if someone on your team gets caught, then you don't do damage control, so you die, and then someone on your team gets caught again because you're dead, right? So it's just when one person gets caught, everyone gets caught. Like that's kind of how League of Legends works, right? Or most team games work, right? Is when one dude makes a mistake, everyone else is not really taking that into consideration. Like we're losing flash and HP. Like you can run to Baron, you don't have time to heal, right? So this is the one concept I want you to think of. Oh, you're also face checking, so this is like a LeBlanc. It could be a Jin ulti, could be a Jax, could be a Fiora, right? All these things that I'm thinking of. Any one of them, you gotta run, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they could be in this tri bush right now too, so this is kind of awkward. What is going on? These guys need to run. Okay, they get that kill, they gotta get out. What is going on? They're literally 4v5.
Yeah.
They're actually winning 4v5. That's crazy. Okay, push out bot because someone on your team died. Sure. Let's take Scuttle. I think is less important than pushing mid right now, but I think you can do it fast enough, so it's fine.
Yeah. And my team started to fight again right before I got to mid.
Let me see. That's not your fault. They're just suicide, right? Take red maybe. Oh, I see. Awkward. Whatever. Now we're trying to do damage control, right? So how do you do that? You put a bunch of traps down and then you kite like hell. Okay, he's dead. Nothing you can do. But you see, there's a pattern here, right?
Yes.
We just want to make sure that we're not the guy setting it off, right? Which is, I think, what is going on with these games, right? It's just every time there's 4v5, you keep trying to do something, right? Something like this would be damage control, right? We're just nothing you can do if you leave the tower. So you wanna defend this tower dive. Oh, you got hit. You're dying. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is turning out so good.
Zyra, and then here comes.
You just hit the closest guy and you kite and you're winning. This is completely winning now. They have no HP. Oh my god. How did Katarina die? Wait, what? LeBlanc, really? Wow. And Fura. Interesting. This is still winning. This is still completely winning. And then when you see the play, you can make the play, right? Oh, you can hit this guy. Fine. You can forward. You can ulti. It doesn't matter. Very good, right? Very good. You didn't even need to make a play, right? You just hit the closest guy. So, extremely good. The only thing I want you to work on in the next 5-10 games, okay, is whenever someone dies, damage control. Okay, I don't want to see you going out or doing anything or trying to hit anyone or trying to trade, trying to fight. Nothing. Nada. You're staying at your tower or behind your tower if at your tower is not safe, right? And then the next thing you should work on is 4v5.
Yeah, and
right?
I die right
These
here.
two things. These two things. This is when you see this. What do you think?
I should run, but that's not what I do.
All right, damage control. Someone died.
Yeah.
It's the same thing over and over again. You guys gotta run like hell, right? You need to leave, because you guys are all dying, or you're just dying here, right? So, when you see that, you do what? The first thing you think is, first, how do I get away? And second, how do I stop Baron?
Okay.
Right, and nothing else. You're not trying to push because you guys are losing, right? How do you make it so they get less than they should, right? That's your only goal, right? The reason why everyone dies here is because you guys are just trying to help his ass or something like that. He turns around and then you got problems, right? So, that's really the theme of these games, honestly. Like, I think this is how every single one of your games probably goes, because it seems kind of clear in terms of, we're seeing the same thing, right? Over and over again. So, oh, okay. More people on their team are dead, so I think you guys are winning. Maybe you can get some extra waves. Maybe you can get dragon, whatever. Anything is fine, honestly, as long as you're making money. But remember that every time, if you're ever wondering why you have less money than you should, is because we die every time when they have more people and we try and do something, right? That's kind of where the majority of our problems come from, I would say, if not all of our problems, besides making the play. But honestly, it looks like you're not like doing anything crazy in these fights, so I'm not really worried, right? It's only when it's 2v2 or 2v3 where you need to do something crazy, right? So in these team fights, the only thing you're doing wrong is that you're playing like you have more people or something, or you have the same amount of people, when in reality you guys have less. So this is actually still winnable though. You're in a winning position because you played the last few fights very well. You have enough money to carry this game for sure. Oh my god, this is winning. Oh, everyone just goes in and you win. Oh my god. Oh, disgusting. Wait, you just push mid. You can get an inhibitor. You can even sit in their jungle and look for a camp.
I couldn't get an inhibitor because Fiora didn't die and she was coming to chase me from our base.
Wait, where did your team go? Hold up, back it up.
3 of them ported back to
fight Fiora. I see. That's awkward.
Yeah.
In which case, this is I don't know what this is, but you don't have enough time, right? How do you know you don't have enough time? Ignore Fiora.
Tom Kent comes up in 5 seconds with Jhin.
Right, and then you have LeBlanc TP, or I'm assuming she has TP, but you have something like LeBlanc. Right. Yeah, LeBlanc just takes the Tom Kench portal, and then you're getting what's it called? Home guarded on, right? So you gotta leave. Whatever. That's, I think, a separate topic that we don't really need to discuss in terms of late game stuff, right? But it's just, if you don't have enough time for whatever reason, don't do it, right? Okay. Like for example, this is 2v1, and if Jack stalls for 10 seconds, you guys got a problem. So how fast can you kill this guy? Okay, it turns out you can kill him really fast, and then reevaluate, right? Okay, he dies, tower's gone. Okay, you don't have time, so you leave, right?
Question there. Should I just have kept focusing the Jax or the tower with my Zen?
Here?
Yes.
You hit the tower until his counter strike is gone, right? And you just trap yourself. And then you definitely kill his ass instead of the tower. He's killing you guys. What? Yeah. You definitely have to kill him.
It was like tower, and I was like,
no. You gotta kill his ass. Otherwise, you can't even get the. How can you get the tower? Okay. Let's say you guys hit the tower. Jax hits you. What happens?
Yeah, we die.
You're dying, and then you lose your inhibitor, right? So it doesn't really make sense. So definitely you kill Jax there. Let's see. The only time when you can hit a structure and they have a big threat hitting you is you're killing the Nexus, okay? You're literally ending the game. Other than that, no. Oh, this is not good. Oh, okay. Okay, this is fine. Oh, very nice. Yeah, your only problem is when you have less people, right? When it's like even numbers or anything remotely like even numbers, you're always winning. It's just you always try and fight when you have less people. I think is where you go wrong, right? Your team fighting is very good. I don't think you've lost a single fight where you play clean, right? You're just hitting the closest guy and you're putting traps down. Like, this is all good. This is all 10 out of 10. Doesn't matter that you could have hit the trap. We don't care about this. We don't care about that at this rank, right? It's just when you throw big. That's the only problem. This is what I want you to work on, okay? For 5 games in a row, you have Place TV, right?
Yeah.
So for 5 games in a row, you want to think, I'm not gonna die 4v5, right? You're not gonna fight if it's 4v5. Nothing, 0, unless there was like one example where they were running into your tower and they took a bunch of damage and then you started kiting. That is the only time you ever want to fight 4v5 is when they have such low value, you're winning, right? Okay, let me see if I can find it.
I think that might have been the first VOD.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. But you know what I mean, right? Is that if they fight 4v5, it's because they're running into a fountain or something similar to that, right? They're actually actively suiciding. That's when you can kite and try to look for the 4v5. But for you, right now, 5 games in a row, you don't fight 4v5. Okay, you don't lose if you don't die doing that. I promise you that you're gonna win all these games. Okay, and then the second thing you look at is are you like doing some kind of random flash play? But I think that's much less of a problem. I'm not gonna lie, right? Don't worry about that yet. You don't worry about that for a while. Just right now, never 4v5. Yeah. That's what I want you to think. First is someone on your team dies, damage control. The second thing is there are more people, don't do anything. You wanna stall as hard as possible. Okay, and then if you lose if you lose a game where you do that perfectly, you lose 5 games in a row where you do that, then I'm insane, right? I don't know what I'm smoking, right? I don't know what I'm talking about, okay? But if you're winning these games, I think it's a clear sign that this is like the one thing that's really holding you back, right? The mechanics look fine, the fighting is fine. Sure, sometimes you have some flash plays that don't really make sense, and sure, sometimes we're missing CS, but this is like the big game changer. You know what I'm saying? Is that the game is swinging to their side every time this happens. So stop this completely, and I promise you're gonna win every single game. Okay. Put a stopper on this. So show me 5 games in a row where you don't do this, and you're stuck at your rank. Okay, and that's when you know it's time to work on something else.
All right.
5 games in a row where you do this and you're stuck at your rank. Okay. And you take a look at it by looking at your Place TV deaths.
Okay.
Sounds good?
Sounds good.
That's actually the only way you died in these games, except when you flash forward or like a gank. So, yeah, that's definitely what I would say you should work on. Take a look at that. But if you can do that, I think you're gonna climb really fast. So definitely gold at least, right? You're already on your way there without even doing this. So, fix that, show that to me, and then we can go from there. Sound good?
Yeah. One more question.
Yeah.
Would be a good third ADC? Because I feel confident with Ashe and Caitlyn, but like I really don't have a third, and I am terrible with caster ADCs like Lucian and Nesseril and stuff like that, and Varus, etc.
Let's see. If you needed a third, you can try Tristana. You can try something like
Because in that Jinx game, they actually banned Caitlyn and then first picked Ashe away, and I was just like, well, I just gonna pick Jinx.
Right, don't have another champion, right? So I think most of the time these two are gonna be good. But if you do need a third, you pick up whatever you think is fun, in my opinion. Personally, I play something like Kog'Maw, Twitch, and Caitlyn right now. So you can try one of those if you really want to. But I would say this is fine, right? Just because, one game in a blue moon, it's not going to be too bad, right? It doesn't, honestly, the champion doesn't matter as long as you're working on the thing we're talking about, right? Definitely stick with Caitlyn, though. It looks really good, except for 4v5s, man. That's the only thing, I promise. I promise. Take a look at that. Let me know how it goes.
Okay, I will.
All right, sounds good? Any last questions?
Best way to learn matchups is just to watch streams and play games. I take it. There's no like good guide. Okay, first is the theory, right? Which is what should I do theoretically? So let's take a look at this. All right, you're playing Sion and Caitlyn, right? Versus Ezreal and Janna. First, you identify the categories, right? So what are they? They're trade and we're poke.
No. What are they? What all categories for them?
Trade and Ezreal poke. And
Ignore the ADC part. You pretty much always ignore the ADC unless it's like Varus or Ashe, which at level 6 is catch, right? So,
yeah.
What does Jenna have?
Shield, so she's trade.
Trade, okay. And what's the super annoying thing that Jenna does to you every time it's up?
W's you.
Right. So this is also poke in a sense, right? And then what do you guys have?
Scion screaming, and post level 6 he can just go in.
So it's like poke catch and maybe all in. It's probably poke catch, right?
Okay.
So you got poke catch versus poke. So you let these guys poke it out and you do whatever you want, right? That's how you know. That's how you figure it out. And then if something else happens, like an all in happens, and then you're like, oh, I think we should win all in because he has a skill shot, and then it happens. Then that's kind of how you learn, right? Okay. Or you say, oh, Sion's catch is really good because I just saw him scream at someone and then use his Q, right? And then you're like, oh, throw him in the catch category, right? But that's basically how you play it out, right?
Okay.
And then let's see. Let's take a look at this one. All right, what do we have here? What's Alistar?
All in.
And what's Leona?
All in.
Right, and then you can say Jin is some kind of catch with his W, right?
Yeah.
But it's not as strong as... The reason why we don't say full catch is because it's not as strong as Blitzcrank or Thresh, for example. It's just like, it's good, but it's good so it counts for something, but it's not like a full point in that category, right? So we got some kind of catch in all in, and then we got all in. So, who wins? How do you know?
I say we do because I can combo his with my trap.
It's not sure.
My trap.
You're not sure who wins because the person who has the successful engage wins.
Okay.
So let's say Alistar combos Jin, but you're not in trap range. You're losing.
Okay.
Right, for example. So that's kind of how you figure it out. But honestly, I think you have no problems in lane right now. Right? I think you have absolutely zero problems in lane. If anything, pretend the jungler is ganking you. Okay. But if you want to work on matchups, that's how you do it, right? Like here, what's this matchup?
Trade.
Right, and then whose trade is better and why?
I would say Nami because she can also poke with her heal, so you can poke and then trade, get healed, and
okay, so sure you can get more value, but yeah, the healing is the kicker, right? Is like if you guys aren't trading, she's gonna heal you guys up to full, right? And then remember, like engage versus engage, whoever has the successful engage wins, right? In these trade lanes, if you can 2v1 their support, you're winning.
Okay.
Right, because if you guys hit Jinx, Lulu shields Jinx, so it's 2v2. Right? If you guys hit Lulu, how does Jinx help? Can't help. Right? So that's kind of like a side note you can add in there. But that's basically how you play out these matchups. Right? Is that how you figure out theoretically. And then while you're playing in game, you make sure that the theory matches your mechanics match up to the theory, right? Or your playstyle or your micro matches up to the theory, and then you're good to go. Right, but your laning was really good, so I wouldn't worry about that. Just worry about the 4v5 stuff. If you want to work on like 2 things at once going into game, you say focus on CS and laning phase. Out of laning phase, never 4v5.
Okay,
that's how you do it. So think that to yourself over and over again. That's the only thing. That's the only time you're losing is when you're 4v5. Okay, think to yourself over and over again, and I think I promise you'll do much better.
Okay.
All right, sounds good?
Sounds good.
All right, good luck in your games. Let me know how things go. And if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up.
All right, we'll do. Thanks, man.
All right, have a good one.